Drugs of abuse include alcohol, depressants, amphetamines and stimulants, narcotics and designer drugs, hallucinogens and inhalants. The cost of workplace drug and alcohol use is believed to be over $100 to $120 billion, according to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. This chart shows how tolerance to alcohol works. High tolerance means that a person can drink more than most people and not feel alcohol's effects, even though they are more intoxicated than they feel. On the left, a typical driver may feel intoxicated when his or her blood alcohol level rises to 0.08 and will demonstrate erratic driving. However, a person on the right with drug tolerance to alcohol may not feel intoxicated, and erratic driving may not be observable until his or her blood alcohol level rises much higher. Likewise, more serious problems with alcohol's effects on the body will affect the alcoholic and the non-alcoholic drinker differently. On the left side of the chart are the corresponding behaviors of a non-alcoholic person as their blood level rises. Notice at some point death will occur, but it is below the point of the person who is alcoholic. By the way, the highest blood alcohol level in an alcoholic who lived, found in the medical literature, is 1.5% blood alcohol level, nearly 20 times legal intoxication. Loss of control is a hallmark of addiction and addictive disease. The emphasis is on the word consistently, because anyone can stop drinking whenever they want to. It's staying stopped that separates the social drinker from the alcoholic or addict. Loss of control means the inability to consistently choose when one is going to drink, where or what occasion will drink, and how much will be consumed, and very importantly, what will happen if one drinks. Social drinkers can consistently predict their ability to control all the factors shown here, such as time, place, and amount of alcohol they consume. As the disease progresses, most alcoholics will eventually discover maintenance drinking. This is consuming alcohol at a rate and frequency to stay continually intoxicated. This is why some alcoholics drink in the morning. An employee who consistently has alcohol on their breath in the morning is maintenance drinking to prevent withdrawal. Alcohol or drug addicts with job problems who are in denial about their addiction are often convinced that other problems cause their job performance shortcomings. Such employees are able to convince the supervisor that these other problems are primary. Here is a good understanding of how denial works. Addicts have a definition of addiction that excludes them. Addicts focus on symptoms of addiction that they do not have and use this information to avoid self-diagnosis. Addicts change their definition over time to exclude worsening symptoms. Denial is a defense mechanism that works hand in hand with myths and misconceptions about addiction. Denial is used to avoid awareness and is reinforced by others who are willing to participate in it. Club drugs. These are illicit drugs used at parties. They can include MDMA, ketamine, GHB, rohypnol, LSD, PCP, methamphetamines, psilocybin mushrooms, and cocaine. Some club drugs are associated with rape. Other similar drugs popularized in the past include MDA and MDMA, otherwise known as ecstasy. Ecstasy is commonly used at raves, which are all-night parties usually held in unusual places, like warehouses or railroad yards, and feature loud computer-generated pulsating. Crack cocaine. Crack is a readily smokable form of cocaine. It is sold in small quantities by the illicit drug market in inexpensive doses. It is illicitly manufactured by mixing and cooking it down with a substance that will allow it to burn. Cocaine dumps large amounts of neurotransmitters called dopamine in unnaturally large amounts when it is used. This causes extreme sense of euphoria, excitement, and feelings of well-being. These intense effects can be followed by a dysphoric crash. Cocaine users may suffer from acute respiratory problems, such as cough, shortness of breath, and severe chest pains with lung trauma. About 3 million Americans use cocaine occasionally, which is down from 8.5 million in 1980. Signs and symptoms? Employees with alcohol or drug problems are troubled employees. Troubled employees are most easily identified by ongoing job performance problems. The key to effectively managing troubled employees with alcoholism or drug addiction problems, or any personal problem, is to focus only on job performance issues like absenteeism, behavior, or quality of work. Avoiding discussions about whether an employee has a drug or alcohol problem and avoiding the need to decide what kind of personal problems exist, if any, results in more alcoholic and drug-addicted employees being referred. A professional counselor completes the assessment. Job performance. Job performance includes three things: attendance and availability of the employee, quality of work produced, and attitude and behavior on the job. Frequently, supervisors may be aware of one or two key job performance problems, when in fact many more exist. A referral to the EAP or to any other source of help is aided by using a checklist as follows. Attendance and availability. 1. Absent without leave. 2. Absent from worksite without a good reason. 3. Excessive sick leave. 4. Absent Mondays, Fridays, after holidays, and the day after payday. 5. Repeated absences for longer periods of time. 6. Elaborate, increasingly improbable reasons for absences. 7. Early departure from work. 8. Excessive tardiness. 9. Long lunch hours or not coming back for work. 10. Unexpected absences for 2 to 4 days. 11. Family members and others calling in sick for the employee. 12. Disappearing on the job. Do not diagnose. Do not discuss an employee's drinking or drug problem. You are no match for the employee's ability to argue against the diagnosis. Your personal influence will not motivate an employee to accept proper treatment. Discussing an employee's possible drinking or drug problem invites discussion about what to do about it. Such discussions lead the supervisor to accept the employee's plan for getting help. Employees with alcoholism or drug addiction problems may seek help from time to time, but it is frequently the wrong type of help, misdirected, not professionally monitored, or just improper. Employees will always seek help that least interferes with continued drinking. Searching for a doctor who prescribes cross-addictive, cross-tolerant medications are a good example. All lead to the same result, a continuation of the drinking or drug problem. Enabling allows an alcoholic or drug addict to avoid responsibility for the direct or indirect consequences of a drinking or drug use problem. Enabling is something that people do who are in relationships with alcoholics or drug addicts. These could be family, friends, and of course, coworkers. As long as you're in a relationship with an alcoholic or drug addict, it will be very difficult not to enable. Enabling may be covering up for a coworker, protecting the coworker from consequences, accepting excuses without requiring changes in performance, loaning money for financial problems, drinking with the alcoholic or using drugs with the addict, failing to act on disciplinary action if it is threatened if you're a supervisor, or letting your own drinking or drug use interfere with your decision to take a stand and deal directly with your employees' or coworkers' problematic behavior. World's most enabling statement. But he or she is a functional alcoholic. Translation: the drinking problem doesn't bother me. There is no such thing as a functional alcoholic, just like there is no such thing as functional cancer. This term is an example of enabling. In a sense, all alcoholics, if they're alive, are functional. It's a matter of degree. This term is destructive because it helps the alcoholic avoid treatment.